Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is stupid o'clock in the morning. I tried to get some sleep and we got some answers from the one and only Exile, the last true dev at NetEase. No, I'm just kidding. There are some pretty good devs at NetEase, even though I give them some shit. I am absolutely shattered, but this information couldn't wait. We have some starting information that I can complain about, so we're going to keep self. But there's also some good answers with some actual stuff from Exile, which we will go through in just a moment. So last night at about midnight, I was in bed, I was in my jammies, laid down, realized the bed was wet, the puppy pissed on it. So I got up, took all the sheets off, cleaned up the bed, and my phone started dinging. Now I received a load of information from a Chinese friend of mine who has been giving me information on the Chinese server that's currently open and has been open for a couple of days now, and they're testing some things that we haven't got access to. Now I know for a fact that we're not going to be testing the actual scanning mechanics or the Nihilus space because the Chinese players are already testing this and they have been for a few days. They have also received 2 new ships from the Yangjung, which is the Dreadnought capital ship and the battleship variants of the Yangjung ships. Now the actual translated name from the post on here, I'll put the post on the screen somewhere. All the information I've got, I'll be able to put up on the screen somewhere around here or maybe in front of my face so you don't see the big old black bags under my eyes. Now these are super large tonnage ships, which means they're large, big, very heavy. One of them was called the Huey class. I don't even know. Huey class combat auxiliary ship. Now don't mistaken this for a fax ship. This is not force auxiliary. This is most likely just a dreadnought, as it says combat auxiliary ship and not force auxiliary. And we have the Mochizuki class battleship. Now those they have access to already in the testing. They have also received a bunch of new skins which look pretty damn badass, and I'm kind of pissed off that we're not actually getting them ourselves because the Caracal skin looks fucking amazing. And so does the pod skin. Like it does really look good, but this is going to be a Chinese only skin. It is to do with a company in China, the aerospace industry. It's to do with the aerospace industry in China, so it's going to be just for the Chinese server. Now we know why they've been so late in updating the server and getting all the information out to us that we needed to get. And those updates because they've been updating the Chinese server. There's also been some information on these posts that actually show that they're going to be getting merchandise. Now me and Nina were fighting for so long to get some merchandise. I mean, everyone loves a free t-shirt, free hoodie. Especially since I wanted to start doing it when I was doing the Eve Echoes Talk stuff. I wanted to get a few t-shirts to be able to like promote the game because I was really like, I was really deep in to actually Eve Echoes, like at the beginning. When I first started the actual channel, I was so deep in this game, it was unbelievable. There's going to be draws for a Godhead box. Don't know what the hell that is. Beta month card, which is obviously Omega Duo, and Eve co-branded t-shirts and other awards that they're going to be getting on there for testing the server, and all we get is 25,000 SP. But it is what it is. I can't be too jealous. I can just be a little bit salty about that. All the effort that I put into actually helping them with the game and doing all that stuff for God knows how long I was doing it for. Helping them to translate for the community and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't get as much as a bloody Omega Duo until after I left the content creator program. Then they started giving out Omega Duo. Just, salty boy. Right, so that's all there is on the Chinese server. There is more information on the actual scanning and stuff like that, but I need to verify it. I want them to give me proof that these are actual mechanics before I actually explain to you what's going on. I'll give you a little gist of what Nihilus space is going to be like. It's going to be like a ladder, so it's going to be like a single anomaly inside of a pocket. That pocket will have walls. It's just going to be like warping into a dead space, but it has walls that you can't go past. It's a small area. In fact, the area is so small that you can actually get shot by a tornado from anywhere inside of that pocket. So you're going to have to be wary of any tornadoes popping into your shop and smashing it up. So with all that like sort of bullshit out of the way with the Chinese server, I know some of you are going to be angry about it. I'm so done with it now that it's just water off a duck's back and getting over it. So let's get into some more nicety stuff. Let's talk about the fact that Exile went out of his way to actually look at the Discord, and he's been sort of keeping an eye on the most of the questions and the problems and the issues that people have been having, and he decided to write up a load of answers and questions for the community. My leg won't stop vibrating for some reason. I'm just sitting there just bouncing up and down because my leg keeps going. So anyway, Exile found out a lot of this stuff, and he said, look, this is the most main uncertainties that players would like verified and that he has seen so far. Some of these questions are actually going to be quite nice for you guys to actually hear. I'm quite happy with some of these questions. I just love Exile. Exile goes out of his way to actually do stuff. Like, this guy is producing the game. He's doing everything that he can to make sure that the game is good for everyone. Even though sometimes we do not like what he says, or we don't like what the direction of the game is going, etc., etc. But you can't fault him for his love of making this game. It's just something you cannot fault him for. So the first question is, are people able to enter Nihilus space through means other than gravity wells created by a cap outpost in a Sov-owned system? Now here's the answer. There are naturally occurring gravity wells. There are, which have a probability of spawning in high sec, in low sec, and in null sec. And the probability is similar to the probability of a dead space. Players using outposts will be calculated separately. So you're just going to be at the guys with the capsulated outpost is going to be able to do it with a much higher chance. You're going to be able to do it all the time. Obviously, it's just going to be calculated. They're going to find it. It's going to spawn one for you. But it's going to be a very rare chance to actually find one outside. You can find them in high sec, low sec, and null sec. Finding them in high sec for me is the wrong decision because it's safe completely. They can just find them, go in them, and they can make as much, or they can gather as much, or do a dead space in high sec at the same level of a null sec system, which is going to be kind of meh. But we'll have to see what that actually turns out to be, because it's only going to be 30 to 35%. But you can actually go into the first pocket, then go into the second pocket, and that first pocket will always be safe for those that are getting it in high sec. So it's kind of a weird one for me. So number 2, are hostile players able to enter the initial safe pocket in any way, for instance, through using the gravity well your corp or alliance made? Yes, the entrance you open will be scanned and found by other players and intruded. Privacy is just bad taste for Nero. The safe way is to be as vigilant as possible. So it is not safe for that first pocket. It is safe from the inside, coming in from a pocket on the inside, but it is not safe for people following you into the actual pocket itself. So you're going to have to keep an eye out on that. I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. That's PvP. That's content at the end of the day, and a lot of us are going to be happy with that. Some of you PvE guys out there in nullsec are not going to be happy bunnies. But players in highsec, will they be able to find these gravity wells, follow people from highsec into the gravity well, and actually kill them inside from a high-sec point of view? That's a good question. That's something that I might have to ask in the future. So number 3, how does transitioning from the initial safe pocket to further unsafe pockets work? Will there be a warp jump gate to a new area? If this is through using a gate, is this one-way or two-way? If it's two-way, how is it prevented from hostiles to use the gate back to the initial pocket? Now, I guess this is mainly asked because of the second question that we went through. Exile said there are many passage doors inside which are interspersed like a maze, but there are no doors to communicate between different Nihilus spaces. So it's just going to be jumping through. You're going to end up in a random one, jump through, random one, jump through, random one, etc. You can't go back into the pocket you were once in. You just keep going through until you decide to leave. Number 4, how difficult should players expect the NPCs, and in particular the strongholds, to be? Is this more difficult than dead spaces and intended for large fleets, or is it small fleet combat? And the answer is, according to our internal test results, the difficulty is higher than the dead space at the same technology level. So there's going to be different tech tiers. I guess it's going to be based on where it spawned in the system, and there'll be different tiers as you're going through, maybe, which is quite interesting. I quite like that idea. And it is recommended that more than 3 people enter. There are some thresholds are the tonnage of the ship, which is the size of the ship, whether it's a cruiser, a battle cruiser, or a battleship, and of the ship, such as cruisers and ships below tonnage. So your frigates and your destroyers. Number 5, will the resources in Nihilus replenish, and if so, how fast? Or if not, is it expected to keep opening new gravity wells, or will there be different mechanics? He's gone on to answer that it will not be added. After the end of the life cycle, maximum 2 days, the gate will be open for 2 days, the non-private space is collected or killed and enters the deletion phase. The deletion phase is about 30 minutes. It will be deleted and the outpost needs to be searched again. So if you go in there and clear it, 30 minutes after that, it will be closed and you won't be able to go in there through that one again. Then you'll have to wait for a couple of days to a week for it to actually respawn, or use the actual cap outpost again to find it. This is going to be an interesting one for you SOE lovers out there. Will SOE ships come with exploration? No, they won't. SOE ships will be launched in the LP arena in August. I am looking forward to that LP arena. I'm looking so forward to the arena. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be right up my alley, and I might actually just play Echoes just for the arena. Love that shit. So the next question is, will there be a test server for exploration, and if so, when? There's no test server for us. There's a high probability that will be directly added to the game very soon, within the next week or two. So we're going to be getting it very soon, so we have to get our hands on it very soon. I'm kind of looking forward to being able to jump through the Nihilus space. I don't know. It's not wormholes. And initially, I was not happy with what was being done and what was being said and blah, blah, blah. But that was just because of the wording of it and the lore that they were trying to put into it and the confusion that pissed me off. Now I've had some time to actually think about it. I'm actually kind of happy with what's going to be happening. I might actually put up a Capsulator outpost in nullsec and just open it up once a week and fly in and start murdering people. Could be a lot of fun. Maybe I'll make some content on that. Let me know down below if you want to see some videos of me running through Nihilus space murdering people. The next question is, why are skins not cross-compatible with other ships of the exact same shape? It's because of multi-layer conflicts. There's something in the game that doesn't allow it. They're going to be trying to fix that a lot later so they can actually cross over. But at the end of the day, it's going to make the money to be able to sell them separately. So skins, I don't care. Monetize skins, all you bloody want. Have fun. I'd love for some more skins, some cool skins, some more dark style skins, more space oriented skins. So the next question is, can details or an example be given of how exploration will work, in particular the mechanics around scanning or being scanned? It's similar to the sonar interference search. Identify the mixed simple harmonics and remove the interference simple harmonics. There are some factors of skill and luck, so there is some RNG involved in this, but the skilled worker can complete the operation in less than 10 seconds. So there's going to be some skill involved, and there's going to be an actual mechanic in the scanning itself, or you could do it fast or slow depending on who you... So you're going to need someone in your fleets to be able to scan down really quickly, because there is some more important information. The scanned person can be equipped with anti-scanning equipment, so that when being scanned, he will receive a prompt message and increase the number of options that the scanner needs to remove interference when scanning. So there is a defense mechanism. Again, as I said previously, I'm happy with the fact they added a countermeasure to this PvP rather than what they did before when they added the bubbles without actually having bookmarks, etc. So the last question, can we get details on market data again? And is there a reason we're not getting market data anymore? Many people feel like NetEase is intentionally not sharing data on kills and statistics and market data anymore because there is something to hide. Exile goes on to answer this by saying it is not that we're unwilling to share, but too much content has been developed recently and the Chinese servers have begun to prepare. And there is no way for manpower to take care of more work. Some low priority content has been postponed, including sorting out market and server ecological data. So I'm guessing that the actual dev team are going to be working on both the global server and the Chinese server. So there may be some delays because they're not going to be running on the same train line, as it were. And that's basically all we have today. Let me know down below if any of these answers actually helped you to wrap your head around some of the stuff that's coming. I do know that today that there will be a lot more content coming up. And I know that they're working on answering a load of our questions to do with the scanning and the Nihilus space. More answers, I might add, because obviously a lot of us kicked up a stink that we weren't given enough information and blah blah blah. So hopefully we're going to actually get a whole lot of our heads clear. We're going to understand the mechanics before it's actually released, so we can get in there and just jump straight into the content when it comes. Right now I'm going to go pass out. As you can probably see by my face, I am melting. It is so ridiculously hot in Spain at the moment that I'm just sweating my balls off. So I'm going to go to sleep. You're going to enjoy the video. You're going to like it. You're going to subscribe. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams. I want to say a huge thank you to all my patrons. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to continue doing what I'm doing. If you'd like to find out how to become a patron and how to get early access to my content, please look down in the description. Fly safe and avoid local chat scams.